What if your biggest performance edge isn't your marketing system, it's not your sales funnel, or even the team that you have built to support you? What if it is in your physical body? We talk about stewardship all the time, most often when it comes to time and money. But what about your energy? What about your body? What about the temple that God gave you to carry it all? In this episode, I want to share three things with you, really three things that I hope you walk away with that are going to help you see things in a whole new way as it relates to peak performance. Three things. Number one, a mindset shift on why your body is a performance and purpose multiplier, not a vanity project. Two, a breakdown of how physical discipline connects directly to spiritual leadership and business clarity. And number three, a simple framework to start stewarding your body as a tool for kingdom impact, not just for eternal success. This is something that I've had to fight for personally for many years. Years ago, I was running hard in business, but I was physically exhausted and I was spiritually misaligned, if not in complete chaos. But once I started treating my health as stewardship and not selfishness, everything began to change. My energy changed, my focus changed, my leadership at home changed, and definitely my leadership and influence in the marketplace changed. So let's unpack how physical discipline becomes the foundation for spiritual, emotional, and business breakthroughs. Men of greatness, rise and stand tall. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unlocking Greatness. We are here serving high-performing Christian men, helping them to continue on that path to success without destroying their faith or their family in the process. And today, I want to talk to you about this incredible opportunity you have to unlock additional levels of greatness, additional levels of success in you by paying attention to the temple that God has given you, and that is your body. Your body is a tool. It is not an accessory. Your body isn't about appearance. It's about alignment with purpose. I think too often, and I'm going to talk about some of the the ill treatment of our bodies in a minute, but I think that oftentimes when we start talking about physical fitness, when we start talking excessively about health, people are like, no, that's all vanity. You just want to get bigger to look better, and you want to get stronger and faster for bragging rights. And it's like, okay, I mean, if that's what some people are doing, that's fine. But the majority of high performers that I know that are paying attention to and investing into their physical health see it as an opportunity to align their body to the rest of the efforts that they're making towards success holistically in their life. I mean, we have been entrusted by God with a body to carry our calling. I mean, don't you think that God was very intentional, that God considered all things as he created us? He didn't create us with a specific calling, but not the ability to fulfill it. And for many of you, you've got these big dreams, these big desires in your heart to be incredible husbands, to be incredible fathers, to be present and around and keeping up with your kids, to crush it in business. Like all of these things, you feel this burning passion, this burning desire inside of you, but you're not paying attention to the vessel that is required to carry you down that path. And yet God intentionally gave you a specific vessel, a temple, in order to fulfill that calling. But many of you aren't seeing it like that. Many of you aren't paying attention to it like that. This is why we elevate this area of peak health, which is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. We elevate this as one of the 5 pillars of greatness. This is something that is so incredibly important, and yet I see so many entrepreneurs, so many business owners, so many aspiring leaders that are destroying their bodies. And by the way, that comes by way of a variety of different things. For some of you, you are going at it way too hard. You are focused on business. You're losing sleep, burning the candle at both ends. You're destroying the temple. For others of you, you eat like crap. You are drinking a bunch. You're not working out consistently. You're destroying your ability to fulfill that calling. This is why peak health is so important. And I've said already quite a few times that our body is a temple. Some people get weirded out by that, but let me just read for you what the Apostle Paul says in First Corinthians chapter 6. I think it's a really important thing for you to consider as you are thinking about pursuing greatness, as you are thinking about fulfilling this call that God has on your life. It says this, 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20, I'm reading the ESV. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You have both the body from God and the Holy Spirit from God. He says, you are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. Does that mean that every single one of us is going to look super jacked with six-pack abs? Absolutely not. The genetics play a factor there. Some of us don't have the time to dedicate to that specificity, but that is not what Paul is talking about. That is not what God is asking of you and I. What God is asking of you and I is to exercise responsible stewardship over our bodies in the same way that God is forbidding us from consuming things like pornography to distort our minds. God is calling us to not consume things that are destroying our bodies, like garbage junk food, like excessive alcohol. Like these things are wrecking your ability to live out what the Apostle Paul is speaking to in 1 Corinthians 6. You are not glorifying God when you are a slob. You are not glorifying God when you are burning the candle at both ends. You are not glorifying God when you are destroying the temple that He has given to you. It is just as much physical as it is spiritual. Most people read this verse and they take it specifically as spiritual, but it is not. It is just as much physical. It's mental. It's emotional. When Jesus bought our body, when Jesus bought us on the cross, He bought all of us because He has a purpose for us. Ultimately, to know Him and make Him known, but also help us or to call us to fulfill the very thing that He's put inside of us, the desires of our heart, to serve Him and serve those around us. I didn't used to feel this way. Even after my early years of becoming a Christian, definitely before I became a Christian, man, I was burning the candle at both ends. I was partying multiple times a night, and yet I was trying to be successful. I mean, I guess I was in many ways successful in a worldly standard. I was making money, owned a home, doing all these things, had stuff, but I was destroying my body. Even after I came to know Jesus, there was about a year and a half where my life still was not anywhere near on the track that it needed to be, and I was still just going hard. This is the grind mentality. By the way, if you follow me at all on social media, you may see that I always crap on the word grind. I despise a people that celebrate being in the grind, that celebrate grinding it out, because that is taking something solid and grinding it down to dust. I don't have any pride in doing that to myself, and I don't think you should either. But that's what I was doing. I was literally grinding because I didn't know any better. I didn't realize that I needed to treat my body, my mind, and my soul as God calls me to treat it, which is to honor it, which is to serve it, which is to steward it well. And it was wrecking me. It was making it harder and harder to get up in the morning. It was making it harder and harder to leverage the cognitive abilities that God had given me to sell the products I was at the time, to build the relationships that I needed to. Even when I was able to muster enough energy up throughout the day, I was coming home and I had nothing left because I was exhausted. I mean, I was a mess. I wasn't working out, wasn't eating very well. I was drinking too much still. It was a whole mess. It was an absolute whole mess. We've got to do better. Our body is not an accessory. It is fuel for the purpose by which God has created us for. It is the vessel for the purpose by which God has created us for. So I would encourage you, and I got more to share, but I would encourage you. And by the way, I've got some very practical insights that I want to give to you. But right now, I just want to say this. Instead of maybe thinking to yourself, man, I look in the mirror, how do I look? What kind of shape am I in? And using that as a gauge to determine whether or not you are doing well physically or with your overall health, I encourage you to ask yourself this question today. I want you to look yourself in the mirror, and I want to encourage you to ask this question: how am I stewarding this tool that God has given me? Now, your physical appearance is probably going to be pretty telling. Overweight, out of shape, shoulders down and droopy, lagging along. That could be a good indicator. But you're going to know when you look yourself in the face, as much as you try to, you won't be able to lie to yourself. And you are going to know right away whether or not you are stewarding this tool that God has given you and I to fulfill the calling that He has on our life, which is part of what it means to achieve greatness. But it's not just that. It's also that the more disciplined we are, the more clarity and confidence we are going to have in the pursuit of things that God has called us to. When your body is aligned, meaning when you are dialed in physically, your mind follows. We're actually seeing very present day studies being done and statistics that are now showing that those that work out 3 or more times a week are more mentally healthy than those that are not doing that, but trying to manage their mental health through medicine. Now, I'm not poo-pooing medicine. There's a time and a place for that type of stuff. But one of the best ways to be in good health overall, to have a good mind, a strong mind, a clear mind, is to make sure that you are physically fit. And again, this isn't about everybody looking like a Men's Health cover model, but you know what out of shape and in shape looks like. You know, again, when you go back to that question of, am I stewarding the tool I've been given, whether or not you actually are or not. If you're shoving crap in your mouth that you shouldn't, you're not. If you're not consistently in the gym, you're not. So, when your body is aligned, though, your mind follows and you become sharper. You become smarter. You become more able to engage in the pursuit of these crazy goals that you have for yourself, which more power to you. Get after them. Discipline in this area, discipline with your health fuels momentum in every other area that you're focused on, your business, your faith, and your family. I mean, I can't tell you how many guys I come across that are unhealthy and wonder why their business is struggling. They're unhealthy and they wonder why their marriage is not in a great place. They're unhealthy and they wonder why they just can't even get into and engage in the Word of God. It's because they are undisciplined. They have let excuses get in the way of taking care of themselves. And in the process of doing that, you are failing other areas of life. that you don't even think are directly connected. But discipline in this area will fuel the others. If you want to take your business to the next level, you're going to want to ask yourself, am I physically fit? Am I mentally fit? Am I emotionally fit? And if you're not, this is one of the first areas of low-hanging fruit that I would encourage most guys to go after. This is just an unlock for everything else. And when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you show up good for your business, for your family. Look, at discipline is not about control. It's about alignment. I am trying to get all of these different things that I have going on in life to move in the same direction. I want to be successful professionally without it hindering my personal relationships. I want to be personally successful without it hindering my financial health. All of these things align. But in order to do that, we need to be in peak physical condition. And yet, this is one of the first things that gets neglected, because you're intentionally cutting sleep to work. You're out drinking because it sounds fun. And then you end up back in the same place you were, wondering why you can't get out of your own way and get to the next level. Here's how simple this can be. And I've been talking about this a lot in our Men of Greatness group this week. We've been talking about discipline. This week specifically, it was our post the day yesterday. And one of the things that I heard time and time again as the guys were engaging around like the frustrations they have with themselves. It wasn't just all about physical health, by the way, but the frustrations they have with themselves. There was this theme that kept showing up over and over again, and it was taking on too much. They didn't say that, but they kept talking about like, I was all in on all these things, and now I'm just, I'm stuck. And I got to get back to being all, and I'm like, no. Keep it simple. Start small. 1% better every single day. Here's a simple framework that you can follow that I believe is super helpful just to ensure that you are taking care of yourself a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Here's a simple daily physical rhythm that anybody can adopt tomorrow, because we're already halfway through the day, which means you're halfway through this, or maybe longer. Each day should start with waking up to one alarm. No snooze buttons. Snooze buttons are for weaklings. Snooze buttons are for people that aren't man enough to fulfill their first commitment of the day and just get up when the alarm goes off. Set it for the time you want to get up and get up. It's actually physically bad for you to hit snooze, but more even than that, you are breaking your first commitment to yourself every single day when you hit snooze. Quit doing it. Wake up with one alarm. Number 2, read your Bible as soon as you get up. There is no better fuel to start your day than the Word of God. Then pray. Ask God to help you understand what you read, to show you what's in store for you for the day, to lead you, to guide you, to answer a prayer that you have, whatever it may be, pray. Hydrate throughout the day. Big shout out, by the way, to, if you're watching this, you can see, but this bottle, Benjamin Blue water, one of my good buddies, John Reed, he is one of the owners of Daily Dose Hospitality, which is Boss Cat Restaurants and 10 Sushi, amongst some other things. He and a couple of other buddies started this water company, Benjamin Blue. And I've been a decent hydrator in my later years of life here, but having this water, which tastes bomb, by the way, and it's funny to say that, but it's just such good, clean water. But having these, I bought cases of these and leave them in the office, and it just makes it so easy for me to go grab water and drink a couple of these every single day. So make sure you're hydrating throughout the day, every single day. Limit your junk food. That's another thing that I think that too many men fall into the trap of. You get going, you're going too fast, you're not eating good and consistently. And so you just grab junk, or you get to the end of your day, kind of exhausted, you grab some cookies, you're having alcohol on a consistent basis. All of those things are bad for your intake. So limit junk. Another one, 30 minutes minimum of physical activity every single day. That could be a 30-minute walk. That's about 1.5 miles at a reasonable clip. That's not too hard to do. I bought a walking pad that I have for my office. You can easily walk and do other things. I'll put a link down in the show notes to that if you want to check it out. I think it was like $150. I bought it as part of a step challenge that I was doing with some guys, but it's been a great gift. I have one here in the office and one at home. And then lastly, protect your sleep. What I mean by that is have good sleep hygiene. Don't be going crazy right before bed. Get into bed at the same time every single night and wake up at the same time every single day. I saw a guy post on X, and he said that in order to fall asleep, because his mind was racing so much, that he's been doing gummies, sound probably like THC gummies, to sleep better through the night. And I get that those things can be helpful, but I think that there's root cause reasons why we don't sleep well, and we need to address those, not put Band-Aids on them. So again, daily simple physical rhythm would be wake up with one alarm, read your Bible, pray, hydrate throughout the day, limit junk, 30 minutes minimum of physical activity, and protect your sleep. If you do those things consistently, you will feel far better than not doing them at all. Look, this doesn't need to be complex. It just needs to be consistent. We just need to do the same thing. I actually get kind of made fun of a little bit from some friends and even my wife from time to time, because I am a disciplined guy. Same thing over and over again. I eat pretty much the same things. I'm up at the same time. I'm a creature of habit, and those can either be applied to destructive things or productive things. And so I try as best as I can to apply them to productive things. Discipline allows me to be consistent. It's not complex. It's really simple in the ways in which I run my day. Things like that daily physical rhythm. My encouragement to you, if you are looking to become more disciplined, is just to pick one discipline for this week that you can add. 30 minutes of physical activity every single day could be one. It could be workouts, it could be walks, whatever it is. Maybe you want to commit to 7 hours minimum of sleep a night, which, by the way, most people, especially those that are performing at a high level, need 7 hours of sleep, which means you need to be in bed for probably 7.5 to 8 hours. I'm awake about 15 minutes a night. And so if I can get 7:20 to 7:30 in bed, that usually gets me my 7 hours. But if you're in bed for 7 hours, you're not getting 7 hours of sleep, especially if you have poor sleep hygiene. So you could do that. So pick one discipline that you can follow, commit to it, track it, and keep the promise to yourself that you are going to continue and do it. Okay. As we're beginning to wind down, I want to say that health without purpose is still emptiness. I know a lot of incredibly fit dudes in the gym that are purposeless, that are just kind of, I don't know, flying by the seat of their pants. Don't get fit just to feel good. Get fit to go far. Don't get fit just to feel good. Get fit to go far. If you have big, crazy, massive goals, you need to get in shape. You need to get healthy. The goal is longevity in marriage, in mission, in calling, in business. We are trying to create long-term legacies, not short-term towers of success. I've loved watching the culture shift. We're seeing far less people smoke than ever before. We are seeing a significant reduction in the consumption of alcohol, which I think is fantastic. We've got guys like Andrew Huberman and Joe Rogan, Cam Hanes, that are huge proponents of health. Even guys like Jelly Roll, who started his physical fitness journey at over 500 pounds, has lost over 200 pounds. So we are just seeing this proclamation of positivity around health, and so many people pursuing it. And I love it, because this is what is going to help us go far. This is what is going to help us achieve the purpose by which we've been created for. This is why this GAP framework that we have, we talk about being purposeful in pursuit. That's what the P stands for. I only want to get up and do things on purpose. I only want to do things that are purposeful. I don't want to waste my time, my effort, my energy, my health on anything that is not on purpose. There is a huge difference between performing and preparing when it comes to this, by the way. Many men burn out way too early because they've never treated their health as mission critical. You need to prepare for the long term. You need to prepare for the battle that is in front of you. I think about, and I've only read this stuff. I was obviously never one, but I just think about what it's like to be a Navy SEAL. And most will tell you from everything I've read and heard, they prepare way harder than they ever think they're going to have to encounter in battle. That's why boot camp is as bad as it is. It's like, we are going to show you how bad things could get, both to try and scare the weak guys away, but also to prepare them so when they approach a situation, when they encounter a situation, it's easier than they had prepared. This is not just showing up and lifting big. This is not just running really fast once. This is preparing with longevity for the long run. This is understanding, again, back to this idea that my body is a temple. My body has been created to fulfill this crazy dream I have inside of myself, and I have to prepare it for the long run. This isn't just about looking cool. This isn't just about getting jacked. This isn't about those things at all. This is about achieving greatness. And again, this is what we're talking about in our Men of Greatness community all the time. Like, how do I unlock every single level to ultimately achieve this crazy dream? And more often than not, we're frustrated because we're not where we think we should be, when in reality, this is God's blessing to us, telling us that, hey, you're not ready yet. And for many guys, what's not ready is your body, your mind, your soul. Physically, you could be ready. Intellectually, you could be ready. Strategically, you could be ready. But if your body is not prepared to endure what's coming, you are going to crumble. You are going to burn out. You are going to absolutely destroy yourself. Write this down. My body is a tool for kingdom impact. I will fuel it, I will train it, and I will protect it so I can finish strong. Let me repeat that. My body is a tool for kingdom impact. I will fuel it, I will train it, and I will protect it so I can finish strong. I don't want to win the 1 mile sprint. I want to win the 100-mile endurance race. In Hebrews 12, the writer says, let us run with endurance the race set before us. You see, this calling that we all have on our life is not for a season, it's for an eternity. For a specific set of years this side of heaven, and then for all of eternity the other. But while we are here, we need to see that we need to see to it that we show up every single day to perform at the highest level. I want my body, I want my mind to be prepared to go to battle, to go to war. I mean, my purpose that God has created me for includes ensuring to the best of my ability that other men achieve the greatness that they've been created for, and I am at war. It is a battle every single day, fighting to show these guys just what's possible. It is a battle every single day to keep the enemy at bay as he continues to try and tell me that I'm not good enough to do this, that I'm not capable enough to do this, that because I haven't been as successful as I've wanted to be to this point, I might as well just turn and run now. That I should just pivot and do something else that would be so much easier and I could make a lot more money doing. It requires a level of discipline. It requires a level of strength that is not possible unless I am in peak health. And the same goes for you. If you've got a big monster vision or dream, if you want to show up as the husband and father that your family deserves, if you want to show up as the business leader that has a significant impact on the industries that you're in, you got to push yourself. You've got to get to this place where you are unstoppable. And that happens by being disciplined to train your body, your mind, your heart, to be in it to the best of your ability every single day. So in recap, to make this helpful for you, because I know this has been a lot, but I'm trying to help you see how important it is to continue to focus on training the physical body, which, by the way, I'm 47, and most of the people my age I hear make all kinds of excuses for why they can't do this. You don't know what it's like to get old, things creak more injuries. It's harder. Getting old sucks. And on one hand, I'm like, you're right. The effects of sin on the body suck. And what I mean by that is the fact that the fall happened means our bodies deteriorate, not just because we sin. So the deterioration is real. It is harder to build muscle. It is harder to stay in shape. But that's just an excuse. I mean, I'm dealing with a nagging knee injury right now, some issues with my lower back, some challenges with my shoulder. I'm still in the gym the same amount of days. Even if I have to modify, if I have to do things differently, if I have to do half the weight, if I have to do different reps, different exercises, it does not matter. And on top of that, when I know that I cannot train as hard as I feel I'm capable of, then I have to even be more careful about the things that I put into my body. I need to be more intentional about how I'm hydrating my body. I need to be more careful about how I'm protecting my sleep. Because remember, these three main things, hopefully, that you've taken away from this. Number one is your body is a God-given tool, a temple to carry out your mission, the mission that God has implanted into your heart. The second thing is discipline is not just about fitness. It's the foundation of clarity. It's the foundation of leadership, and it is the foundation of impact that you can make on this world. And three, health for the sake of impact, not image, is how we build for the long run, how we run that race with endurance. So I've got a question for you. If you've listened to this point, if you've watched to this point, what would change in your life if you started treating your health like it actually mattered to your legacy? What if you took your health as seriously as you take any other one thing in your life? Think about whatever the most important thing to you is in life, apart from Jesus. Like that's the number one. Maybe it's your business, maybe it's your marriage, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's a sport, golf. What if you focused that much attention as you do on that thing on your health? How do you think that would impact your life? How do you think that would change your life? Here's the best part. God doesn't need perfection. He definitely doesn't expect perfection because we're not capable of it. But what God honors and what God expects of us is proper stewardship of the tools that He has given us. You're not just building for today, you're building for decades to come. And if you are resonating with any of this, just like the 40 other guys over the last 3 weeks that have joined our Men of Greatness community, I encourage you to join us. I encourage you to quit putting your health on the back burner. And again, that's your physical, mental, and emotional health. You don't have to go it alone. This is not about you doing this rogue. I don't care how ashamed or embarrassed you think you are of the position that you're in right now. I've got a worse story, either something that I've done or some other guy that's in there right now starting off their journey as well. And we've got some incredible wisdom as it relates to health in our community right now. One guy, my good friend Cam Hall, he runs a community called Fight the Dad Bod, a program called Fight the Dad Bod. And he has helped guys completely turn around their health and fitness. And he does it in simple yet practical ways as it relates to the workouts that they're doing. I love the fact that when he's helping them with their nutrition, that he's not cutting things out. He's not a carb cutter. He wants people to still enjoy the food that they're eating. Like, this is not fad and crash diet crap. So we've got guys like Cam in there that are dumping just ridiculous amounts of wisdom as it relates to topics like how we steward this temple that God has given us. So join school.com/men-of-greatness. It'll be down in the description, down in the show notes. You can follow or you can follow that link and you can join there. If you need anything else as it relates to this topic, if you have a question, a concern, find me on social media, DM me. I'm happy to talk to you more about this. I am not a fitness and nutrition coach. I have some discipline around there. There's definitely some areas that I can get better in, but I do have a lot of experience in this, and I've found a rhythm that works well for me. And I'm in pretty good shape for 47 years old. And I want you to be in the best shape you can be for whatever age you are at. Because again, this is more than physical fitness. This is the fulfillment of the calling that God has on us. And that's why you're listening. That's why you're here, is for that. So do something about it. Like, share, subscribe, do all those things. Thank you guys for tuning in, for continuing to follow along in this journey. I'm grateful for the support that so many have given to me, so many have given to our community. Jump in and join if you feel like that will be of help to you. I believe it will, but that's going to be something for you to decide. It's no cost through the end of the year to do that. And in the meantime, or regardless of whatever you do, whether you join or not, my prayer for you is that you would continue to pursue the greatness that God has called you to. Peace.